Hi, my name is Junhyuk Lim, and today I'll be talking to you guys about capital punishment, also known as the death penalty. I'm a firm believer that due to how unethical it is and how ineffective it is, that the death penalty should be abolished in all 50 states of America. Since 1976, there have been a total of 1,539 executions in the entirety of the United States. On top of this statistic, there have been 186 former death row prisoners that have been exonerated since 1973. With the death penalty in the U.S. legal system, there have been definitely cases where people were wrongfully convicted, and these statistics prove that. However, people wrongfully being accused and sent to spend 10 years in prison at least have the benefit of making it out on parole early or spending 10 years in prison and spending the rest of their lives free. However, wrongfully being sentenced to the death penalty has no real silver lining other than the very rare possibility that you can be exonerated. The point of bringing up if someone is wrongfully accused is that the stakes of wrongfully accusing someone to 5 years in prison has a lot less gravity than wrongfully convicting and sentencing someone to death. On the other side of the coin is the ethical aspect of capital punishment. The ACLU, or the American Civil Liberties Union, is quoted as saying something along the lines of, "We believe that the state should not give itself the right to kill human beings, especially when it kills with premeditation and ceremony, which the death penalty does." In short, no one should be able to have the right to kill any other human being in any circumstance, no matter how terrible of a crime the criminal may have committed. To allow for this sort of unethical practice is to encourage and show people that we support murder of other individuals in some cases when in reality it should never be condoned in any circumstance. There's a story of a woman named Linda White who back in 1986, her daughter Linda White, who was 26, was raped and murdered by two men. And instead of turning towards the death penalty, she was able to find peace and restorative justice. And one of the men who actually killed and raped her daughter, Gary Brown, was imprisoned for 23 years. However, after 23 years, he was let out, and he's now a functioning, law-abiding, and productive, well-rounded member of society today. And so, this is the kind of message that I believe that America should be promoting, rather than that sometimes murder is okay. And second chances should definitely be given, and it's definitely a risk that we should take, I believe. Now, with all this being thrown at you, there is the question of whether the death penalty is actually effective and should even be debated over. And the answer to this question is unequivocally no. In fact, according to the Death Penalty Information Center, on their website, the statistic shows that through the years of 1990 all the way to 2018, the murder rates have been higher in states that have implemented the death penalty rather than states that do not have the death penalty. And so with this statistic, why should the death penalty even be around if the point of implementing the death penalty is to scare people into not murdering? And yet, this statistic shows that murder rates are higher where the death penalty exists rather than doesn't exist. So, with all this being said, I believe that the death penalty should be abolished.